are listening to a High Standard production.
All right, man. Welcome back to the Geekset podcast, the only podcast that blend hip-hop culture and geek culture together. I'm your boy Deuces in the building, and this is One-on-One with Deuces, where I speak with the creators, content creators, and pushers, and people that you should know. And right now, man, I am speaking with somebody that is truly dope, somebody that I've been watching for quite some time, you know, somebody that is an elite in what he does. Man, I'm speaking with Detroit's own comedian CP. Brother, how are you doing?
Man, I'm great, bro. How are you, man?
Man, you know, out here just trying to make things happen, man, trying to get this content out, trying to stay consistent. You know, we out here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, so we dealing with that shit out here that happened out
Okay,
of
I know about Milwaukee. Y'all be there's a lot of ghetto shit in Milwaukee, but then also when I did some shows in Milwaukee, bro, I was at a casino and all they want to talk about was beer and motorcycles. I'm like, man, what the hell is wrong? Like Harley Davidsons and
where was you at? Was it Ho Chunk or was it Potawatomi?
Might have been Potawatomi. I know if it was Ho Chunk, because I'd have never forgot that. You know what I'm saying? Come see me down at the Ho Chunk.
But you know what's funny? One of the things that when I started watching you and then when coming to find out that you was from Detroit, I was like, bro, you can see like the way we operate in the Midwest is different from everybody. Like I was chopping it up with Clayton and I was telling him, I was like, you know, one of the things that I noticed is that because we are overlooked for a lot of the things that we do. Like if you think about like Nelly out in St. Louis and shit, they equate him with the South. You know, when you think about like Eminem, Royce the 5'9", they equate them with the East. Kanye West, like we got so much dope shit that's from the Midwest. So because we're so used to being overlooked, we go that harder in whatever craft that we are doing. And that's one of the things that I noticed when I was watching just like in general your career and things that you did from being a comedian or a writer and an actor and a producer. Like your grind is definitely like unmatched to a lot of people. Is like where does that hunger come from for you specifically?
I think that, you know, the attitude about the Midwest, first of all, honestly comes from a little bit of a chip on our shoulder from kind of feeling left out from what the conversation when you talk about the country is about, right?
Right.
Because, you know, you got the East Coast and then you got the West Coast. And then so kind of like the Midwest, we would much rather be in that conversation more so than the middle America conversation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I think that, you know, there is that, you know, me being from Detroit, you know, we always feel like, man, we got to get to Chicago or we got to get to New York or we got to get to LA to be heard. And so I think that going harder and hard as you could possibly go to be heard, that's kind of the motivation. And I think that you get out here and you realize that although you've been acting so hungry for everything, people out here who've been already exposed to it, they don't have that same mentality.
Right.
So in a lot of ways, it'll make you zoom past them professionally. But then there's also the aspect of you have to be a likable person. And sometimes us from the Midwest, we very like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you know, you see how Kanye act. You see how Eminem and Royce, these are guys who are geniuses, but they stay to themselves because people can't take their point of view. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, man, these guys are, you know, they have a rough, you know, point of view.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know what? And that's what I think it is too, because also with the confidence, like because we are overlooked, we are that much confident in what we do. Like, you know, like you can't tell. Yeah.
My fault, man. My studio also has a washer and dryer in here. I don't know how that got. My wife, you know what I'm saying? So
all good, brother.
It was some socks drying. I couldn't hear nothing. I'm sorry. So
no, it's all good. No, what I was saying is like, you know, like you can't tell, or you even back then you couldn't tell Kanye that he wasn't going to make it. You know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't tell Royce and Eminem that they wasn't the illest spitting. You know what I'm saying? And when they prove it, like look how long it took for people to just start calling Royce the monster that he is. Like we
Right.
knew if you from the Midwest or if you fuck with Royce the 5'9" at any given time, you already knew this. But like niggas just now started, like the past 3-4 years, started giving him his flowers, and it's just like because and he been going hard his whole career. So it's just like you gotta have that confidence whatever you step in, whatever realm you step in, and I think that is something that comes from how we were brought up because we were, like I said, so overlooked in many aspects.
Yeah, I think that it's funny you talk about Royce. I was saying I was talking about Royce earlier and how all it takes is, sometimes, bro, the way you see it happening is not how it's supposed to happen.
Right.
Like Royce got on that first Eminem album as a feature, but you understand that this is an album that went I don't know how many times platinum.
Mm-hmm.
And every single verse on this album has been broken down into like, a science of what it means to have bars. And so for you to even be on that, that's like being a rookie and getting drafted to a championship team and actually contributing. And then what happens is, although you weren't the star, you don't see the writing on the wall, which is come contract time, you have a championship caliber. When contract time came for Royce via Slaughterhouse or P Rhyme or then it all makes sense and everybody's like, oh, you see how long it took for Royce, but nothing is overnight and everything was a step. You know what I'm saying? And those steps can be accelerated or slowed down based on you pushing the gas, and the gas is you believing in what you're doing or understanding that everything is divine,
right?
And not really thinking too much like, man, how come that opportunity missed me, bro? It all happens when it's supposed to.
Exactly. It's funny too because like being from the Midwest, one of the things that I always love is that like even though we're in that middle, we do get that gumbo pot. So like when I'm watching some of your Twitch streams, the music that you choose, like you may go 3-6 Mafia, but then you'll go some Cam, and then you'll go, some Nip, and it's like it's one of those things. Like if you think of like East Coast niggas up until now, back then it used to be, oh nigga, you ain't from the East, like they ain't fuck with the West or the South. South, they was like it's us against everybody. But us being from the Midwest with everything that we had that grab bag, where we can listen to multiple shit. Yeah.
I think that being from the Midwest, man, we did a lot of studying.
Yeah.
Of everybody. One of the biggest things to come out of the Midwest, people don't realize it, was Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Man, listen here.
Because that was they were revolutionary at their time. People was trying to rap fast and that was cool, but they was rapping fast, singing with the harmony, 4-part harmony on top of each other. And these are some gangster thug ass niggas. It's like, what the fuck is what kind of prison choir did y'all niggas come from? You know what I'm saying?
Confused the shit out you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They trying to, talking to the judge all fast. I'm gonna everybody, you know what I'm saying? Gonna miss everybody. I'm gonna miss everybody. It's like, nigga, it's just like, but it was something that we could claim as our own. They made sure that they rep Cleveland at all time. But what that did was that helped the Midwest to say, we got some unique shit because we were studying the New York niggas, we were studying the California niggas. We were just, we were the main consumers. It's kind of like they were fighting over our ears.
Oh shit, I didn't even think about it like that.
Because the East was gonna be the East, and that was the fan base, and the West was gonna be the West. That was the fan base. Middle America is traditionally white.
Yeah.
Right? But the Midwest, St. Louis, Detroit, you know what I'm saying? Chicago, Milwaukee, all those little nigga pockets. That's where they wanted to sell them, you know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Yeah. And and it's funny because like anytime I go to any one of those cities and shit like that, like it's even though it's another city, like I can understand a lot of the shit. Like it's funny when I'm talking to people who don't know like about the Midwest and they only know about Detroit from what they see, or they only know about Chicago from what they see. And it's like, bro, same as Milwaukee. Yeah, there's some riot ass, niggas out here that's going to either rob you or shoot you. But if you come with mad respect and you just not doing too much and you go, the areas that you got to be in, and you good. Like it's not as dangerous as people think. But
tell you what,
only got that view.
You can get your ass robbed and shot in Beverly Hills or Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's about how you move.
Yeah.
Everybody, I don't give a fuck. You on vacation, like you don't move like just. Oh, look at around. Look at the architecture. Look at the architecture of these places. And so this is your ghetto, huh? Nigga, bloop, get your ass. You know what I'm saying? No, bro, you gotta know how to move. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I mean, you know, street smarts and book smarts is on. You know what I'm saying? You know, they have two different sides to the dictionary.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? You know, that's.
And it don't help that there's like mainstream shit because then people get to cities and want to do stupid shit like, hey, can you take me to 8 Mile? Like, bruh, that's not a place that you just go just to kick it. You know, same thing. I was talking to this
biggest
chick.
gang on 8 Mile is the police. They beat your ass right down 8 Mile.
I was talking to a chick. I was talking to a chick that lived out in Baltimore, and she was like, I hate when people come from out of town because all they want to do is go to the places that the wire shot. And she was like, but those places are still active hood areas. Like, this is not a place that we just go kick it at. Like, you know, and it's just like, that's the same thing, you know, with so much stuff so much content coming out, shows that are based around areas that are some of these rough ass cities. They got people just coming in the city like, oh, can I go to this place and go to this place? And you're like, fam.
But you know what's crazy? Well, we got in Detroit, we got the building that Martin apartment was in. You can drive down Jefferson, you see that. But it's like, does anybody want to go to that shit? You drive by like, huh? Okay. I mean, that's it. What you gonna do? Like, somebody lived there. You're not gonna do, hey, Martin live here. Like, nah, bro, they just took a picture of the outside, man. Right. Yeah, they just took a picture of the street. Can we come in? No, the inside don't really look like that, bro. This ain't, you know what I'm saying? Can we get a picture? No, bitch, I told you. This is our shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but you know what's funny? So that I didn't know. I knew that there was a set, but I thought the inside was modeled off of the inside of those apartments. So I did not know.
Nah, that shit ain't nothing like that.
So one of the things that I like to make sure that I do is make sure we give people their flowers for things that they, you know, that they done and just while they're here, because some people they're in the grind so much that they don't realize the impact and the things that they did. From the Midwest, one of the things that I always appreciated from you was your approach to roasting. Right. So on the outside looking in, people look at it and they like, oh, CP be roasting. And I'm like, but you got to understand, like when you are an elite roaster, there are rules and things that you do and things that you don't do. One of the interviews that you were on, you were saying how like it was one episode where it was just like everybody was roasting one person. And then that shit kind of just felt lame to you because you're like, now we look like bullies. Now we look like, you know, I'm not here roasting to hurt people's feelings. I'm just doing it because it's from a creative standpoint. And then looking more into your history, which is funny, like you got like a comic book origin. Like you come from a long line of roasters. Like you said, your grandfather was a roaster.
My great-grandfather, he was a roaster. You know, but let me break it down to you like this. When I look at roasting, bro, I look at the opportunity to be like supremely creative in different ways. I think that, you know, the reason why people don't laugh and they be like, aha, either it's really harsh or they done heard it before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't play in the really harsh space. I play in the creative space, number one. Number two, I look at like LeBron, you know, and what I see in LeBron when I watch his game is that, he gets pissed off and be like, fuck this. And then he just go and dunk and get 40 and da-da-da. And although that's entertaining for us,
right,
that does not make his team better. It doesn't make his team closer. And if you are a fan of basketball, then you know that that's not really basketball. And he's a fan of basketball.
Yeah.
He wants to go out there and play the right way. This man wants to make the correct pass at the right time to set up somebody to be able to shoot. The problem with LeBron is not that he is not perfect. It's that he expects everybody else to be perfect. And every time that we've ever seen LeBron lose, for the most part, it's been watching other people not live to that moment that he is. Right? People not rising up to be perfect because they're not LeBron. So the way I look at it is that I'm not mean. I know that I could just, you know, I could just roast somebody, but it's not that. It's that when I call you something, when I say you look like something, you really look like it. Yeah. It's not about, you know, me trying to know, like, I want to create like real things about you that aren't even real, right? An acne bomb went off in the subway. I could make everybody look over there, and we all looking over there, and then I say, boom, because this nigga got acne. It's like,
Yeah.
to me, it's a science to it. It's the no look pass. It's the behind the back highlight type of shit. And I feel like it's other niggas who will either say anything in a roast or will shoot 100 shots to get 40 points.
Yeah. So this is where I really was like, oh, CP is a problem with this roasting shit. So it was one of the Zooming with the homies, and then old boy tried to pull out a basketball, and y'all went like 40 minutes on that leather basketball.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like to the point where I was showing people that specific clip. Like, no, y'all gotta watch this shit. And that shit had me in tears, like for a couple of days. And I was like, bro, if you are somebody that can roast anything, you are an elite in this roasting.
I think it's easier to roast anything than it is to roast anybody. I think that because sometimes people's energy don't allow you to roast them. Mm-hmm. Some people just don't play like that, and you can tell that they don't play like that. Yeah. And and even if they're trying to act like they play like that because they're around some girl and shit, just take a joke, but you can feel the energy. And so for me, I like to get roasted because the creativity is in the rebuttal. Yeah. The creativity is the fact that because you saw me get roasted and because you roasted me, that I had no idea you were about to roast me. And so for me to take your hit and then rebuttal so quickly, so accurately, and so individually specific to you. Yeah. Is something that's what I like to watch back when I watch the videos. And I'm like, damn, I killed that because I didn't know that was coming. Right. This was a rebuttal. Me saying a nigga got shot with an Acme Uzi, that's a rebuttal. I was chilling. He came at me.
You know what? That's what I realized. So, because when you told Tahir that his face looked like the Verizon map, that was a rebuttal. He came at you, and you came with that. And it's like, shit like that.
And you understand his face looks like all the coverage that Verizon offers. Bro, people have to fathom what I'm saying. You know the map, and they got the spots. Like, because as a roaster, you have to collect knowledge. Yeah. You have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to, it's like one of them video games like Zelda, where it's like in order to beat the game, you got to get all the outfits and all of the, you got to beat all the shrines. To get to that level, you have to have lived and seen stuff and done stuff and know the names of stuff. And, I know why shit was funny 20 years ago. Right. That I never said because it never was the time to say it. And then one day it will be.
Right. And I think that too, that's what, like, you pick and choose, like your targets, like when, like, unless somebody comes for you, you don't necessarily come for people off the rip. But like, I've seen you like even give warnings to people like, look, all right, I know you think it's this, but like, I'm letting you know how it's gonna go if you keep on going at this.
it's not gonna go favorable. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that people want you to roast out of being angry. I'm roasting to make myself laugh. Like, I'm such a fan of it. I'm watching everybody. I'm like, ooh, and then they're like, hey, well, look at this thing. I'm like, me? Oh shit, I'm not, and it's like, bruh, like, I told that nigga David Lucas he was 8 Dog instead of Nate Dog. Nigga just hit the east side of the KFC on a mission trying to find me a 7-piece. I couldn't even finish the song. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, dog, like, to me, the most complete roast, you could see him. Yeah. You could see him. I could see that nigga rolling up to a KFC in a music video. You know what I'm saying? Like, regulators, mount up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's dope that you got so many avenues too that allow you to do that. I think with this pandemic and with everything being like shut down, but like more so video content, like we was able to see a lot more things with like the evolution of roast us to roast this. And then, like, with all the like video things that you guys do. So it's like, you guys got like a close-knit community of comedians and just people who put out content, but you guys all do like those things. Like I may see you on Clayton's, or I may see you on Tahir's or All Deaf or yours.
So, but what it is, all my guys, man, and all the ladies too that's in it with it too. But I think what it is that you know, we stay away from the cats that are not creative. And I think that as the consumer, you all can't tell who these people are, because what you'll see is great content. You don't see that, you know, this is somebody who got 5 or 6 people around them and everybody pitching in a line and we gonna film it 3-4 times. Y'all don't see that.
Right.
And so what you see is a finished product, just like movies and how that is, and that's cool too. But I think the pandemic gave everybody a chance to see who could be creative with nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it showed, because it's like a lot of us are out here, you know, with all of this talent. Like, I know for a fact, like, I tell my agents all the time, my problem is that they have me on too much white stuff and too much, and I'm grateful for the opportunities. I'm grateful for the money that I make, but my fans will never know what I'm doing. I'm over here writing, you know, I write 6-7 TV shows a year, you know, a couple episodes here and there for each show. Every now and then something will come across my desk. Oh, Black Jesus wants you to write for them. I'm like, ooh, okay. I write on Black Jesus. And then so now my people can see my stuff, but they don't even know how funny I am, because I'm pitching shows 3 times a week. Then I'm running a writer's room. Then I'm, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, you know, you look up and all the people who I feel like were creatively my little niggas are starting to grow into these internet personalities, and they become these big stars and monsters. And it's like, damn, like, and they come see me like, damn, CP, your day coming. And it's like, yeah, but I don't know how my day is going to come when I'm stuck behind fueling the machine. I'm feeding the machine with the jokes that they need and the swag that they need, you know, for the shows that y'all love. And so for everybody to shut down, and then for it to be like, all right, who can make us laugh at the crib with nothing?
Yeah.
And it's like, I can, because I don't need nobody to write. I'm who write the lines.
Yeah.
I'm who makes the show. It's me, guys. Hey, the guy, you know what I'm saying? ADD, those are my friends. But we don't, you know, like, we all have our avenues. Right. I don't make my money over there. I'm really in Hollywood. They tell me all the time, they be like, man, CP, you know, you need to give us a job. I'm like, bro, you don't want to be over there, because they will bury you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll bury you in Teslas and Porsches, and nobody would know who the fuck you are. You'll have money and nobody would know who you are, and you'll forget what you came for. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I didn't grow up. I didn't know what the fuck a writer was when I was growing up. I didn't know, not like that. I mean, I didn't know
but I know
executive producing and showrunner. I want to be on TV. I want to be making people laugh like how I was laughing. Like how Ace Ventura and Homie the Clown and you know what I'm saying? Like how these niggas, Martin and Jamie Foxx, how they had me laughing. That was what I wanted to do. I think that, you know, you get out here and you know, you go to these shows and you kill, and people approach you, and it's all kind of opportunities. And sometimes we take them because of the money and all of that, but those things get you further from the true, you know. And I think that after this pandemic, bro, I'm never gonna stop doing this, because you know what I'm saying? Like, this is where it's at, bro. Person to person, interacting with the fans, people who understand my stuff, you know.
Hey, I want to talk to you today about GeeksetPodcast.com, the only place that blends hip-hop culture and geek culture together in one place, and the only place to get your official Geekset swag. Go to our shop and view our wide selection that we offer, from the No Dubs collection, Big Bit Tees, Talking That Geek-ish, and more. Today, use code Deuces during checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. Then, take a picture and post it on Instagram using the hashtag Geekset for a chance to be featured on our page, and a chance to win extra deals in the future. So don't hesitate. Drop by the website today. Listen to our latest episode, watch our latest videos, read our latest reviews, and shop with your favorite geeks. GeeksetPodcast.com.
I'm gonna keep it a bean. Like, that's the thing about this pandemic, and why I'm like, I started doing these interviews during the pandemic, because it was one of those things. I'm like, you know what? The worst thing niggas can tell me is no. So I'm gonna just reach out, and things been going well. But what's different is I'm reaching out to the people that I'm truly fans of and that I rock with and that I learned some new shit from during this pandemic. So it's like it gives better content. Because like before, like only thing I knew you for was like All Def, comedy, and then Reggie Bo. right? So then after watching it, I'm like, whoa, like, yo, I didn't even know CP get down on the games like that. Yo, I didn't even know that he was like, you know what I'm saying? You know, he fucked with the comic books and the anime and shit like that. Like, I didn't know that until I started watching your streams. And now, like, I'm like, yo, I gotta talk to bro. Like, I gotta get, you know, his hot takes on some shit. Because to me, like I said, when we started this platform, that's what it was. Like, much love to all the geek properties, but like, and I watch them and I get my content from them and shit. But like, when I'm talking about anime with my homies, you know, we talking like, oh shit, nigga, do you see that nigga Goku go crazy? Like, you know, and then like we bringing up topics that you don't hear on those other shit. Like, you know, one of the last topics we was talking about, we brought up like, you know, with all the protests going on, which comic book characters you think gonna be on that front line with us? You know, or, you know, what do you think, you know, what type of music do you think, you know, say Naruto listen to and shit like that? Like, we're bringing up shit like that other people ain't bringing up. You know, we're comparing characters to Jay-Z and Biggie, like who the Biggie of Marvel, who, you know, and it's just like, it's shit, it's shit that other people won't get because they don't talk like us and they don't look like us, but it's still on that same realm. And so that's where,
as a black man in America, we've never had an opportunity to answer the question of what would you do if you had time and money didn't matter? And I think that this pandemic gave us an opportunity to feel what that feels like. Like, damn, what would I do? I mean, I would play my games. I would, you know, I would talk to other smart ass black people about different concepts. You know what I'm saying? You know, my bad, my phone just rang. I would, you know, it's just like I would connect with like-minded individuals and do stuff that makes me feel good. And I think that that's all I've been doing during this pandemic. And, you know, I don't see how my life is going to go back to, I can't go back to doing stuff for the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing that, you know, Kev and Tahir and Pat have shown me is that, you know, I never wanted to put my faith in the people. Not like I didn't have no love for the people, but it's like, bro, I got to feed my family. I can't let these people determine whether or not I'm canceled or if I'm worth paying this money to come see. I need contracts. I need big checks, and they like, nah, bro, we put our careers in the hands of the people who love what we do. And I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like, bro, I've been getting so much support. You know, people, you know, they see me on stuff. You know, they support, they buy my stuff, they cash app, they subscribe. And it's like, you know, I've been in the industry for a long time, very close to all, you know, we all came up together. But now I see the importance of trusting my brand and trusting the people, bro. It's like, I got it. I get it now.
And what was dope during this time was being able to see you evolve that way. Like, I watched that Zooming with the homies where you was trying to figure out like what you gonna name your peoples, you know, coming up.
The CP.
You know what I'm saying? To me, that was dope because same thing with like Tahir and them, like seeing Tahir start the More Mob and bringing it up and starting Wording is Hard based off of getting roasted for fucking up words and shit. Like, it's like seeing that shit and being a black man is like, yo, like, I'm fully invested. It's like when y'all win, I feel like I won because I'm like, hell yeah.
Same way. Exactly. You know? And that's why we do stuff like for example, Popcorn World.
Like,
when I say, bro, like, I don't ask Popcorn World for no money. I don't, you know, they send me popcorn. My kids love it, you know, and when I see them loving it, they eat every kernel they eat is like, man, that's a black man that made this popcorn and y'all loving it. And y'all ain't looking at pirates booty and none of that other bullshit no more. Y'all are, and it's like, dog, like, you know, I got to tell every single fan I can about how this black owned popcorn company that's doing it with their family as their employees, you know, and shit, I've talked about them. Tahir talked about them so much. They did like 800 orders in a day and then 16. And it's like they on the news. And it's like, bro, like, I love to see that because that's the power that we have that nobody wants us to know about.
You know what's funny? That's the same thing, like the same approach. When I started doing these, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just reach out to motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I do music on the side. So I was like, my first person I was able to interview was Mickey Fax. That's the homie. Let me go ahead and interview him. Then I did like What's Good. I did Timothy De La Ghetto, and then it just kept on going and kept on going. But I was like, you know, one of the things that
All great guys, bro. The homies.
yeah, a whole bunch of homies. Like I said, I was able
Bro,
to.
what's good? What's good? Shit is so good, bro. It's ridiculous, dog.
I've been a fan of him since way back when I was a broke ass rapper trying to get him because he was shooting music videos. He had shot this music video for these cats named Trill out in Florida. And so I was like, we had remixed their song on some Midwest shit and just kind of like put it out, and it was popping in the Midwest. And then we got cool with them, and they was like, who shot y'all video? And they was like, well, his name was Wesley What's Good. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna reach out to him. Like I was, you know, I'm trying to broker a deal, trying to be like, I'm trying to hustle. I'm like, all right, here's what we gonna do. What if we shoot it ourselves and then we send you the footage, would you edit? Like we was on some that type of shit, but like we was broke as shit, so we wasn't able to pay him because like one of the things that I never do when it comes down to certain things when it's people's craft is I never want to disrespect them and not pay them, right? So knowing that he was doing it, I was like, look, what can you do, and then where can we go? But we couldn't get the money together, but like I followed his career. So when I was able to interview him, like it was one of those things. Like I said, same thing with you. It's like I've been a fan. Now I got some questions that you may not get because I'm asking from a different one. I'm not asking from a just.
Bruh, what's good? He did he directed a sketch that I did. It's called Netflix and Chill Third Wheel.
Okay. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, it was just the way he edited it, the timing. I mean, it was just dope, bro.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know who he was. I don't think he knew who I was like that. Chase and Cynthia were putting the skit together. And so he did it. And it's crazy looking back. I'm like, nigga, you was fucking, I mean, this was a star-studded sketch that we had, bro. This shit was insane. And it's like, man, bro, yeah. And then, you know, Timothy De La Ghetto, we just had him on my show Battle Club, which I'm about to
man, I was going to get into that.
About to get off here and go do my sound check to go live in about an hour and 45 minutes.
Yep.
So it's just back to back.
But what's been dope is that, like, you know, so all the love that I've been getting with that, like, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, at the end, I'm going to get it from you, too. What we generally do is we do, like, a recommendation for, like, people, like, viewers to check out, whether it's something to read, watch, listen to, or anything of that nature. But it was, like, everybody that I had on here, specifically the black people, the men, they have dropped, like, gems. Like, you know, it's not just like, oh man, check out this. Like, no, it's like something that adds to your knowledge panel, right? And I was like, that's dope, because it's like, for the most part, you, like, a lot of people when they see us in any realm, like, they think we're going to be a certain way. You know, they think it's going to be this, and they forget that we got knowledge that we can throw in there. And that's one of the things, like, I was watching one of your videos, and in the comments, somebody was like, yo, man, I didn't even know CP had this type of knowledge. And I'm like, fam, like, that's that underestimating somebody that is perfecting their craft. Like, in your story specifically, you said, like, your first two shows that you wrote, you sold. You know, and that's because, like, you already had it fleshed out. You said that you didn't leave any room for people to try to change what your vision was. But that comes from building your knowledge panel, understanding how writing and things are going to be, how you're going to pitch it, and staying true to that. And that's something.
Let me tell you, though, people have a problem. Man, all right. So you play video games, so you understand how you can get stuck on a game.
Yeah.
Like, and you got to go to YouTube and say, oh, okay, I have to move this and drop this because this can't leave this board. And that's the whole point, that push the story ahead, so on and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
People get uncomfortable, and then they don't understand what that means, right? People get uncomfortable, then they get frustrated. Frustrated will keep you in the same spot that you're supposed to be in. Example, when I was in college, you know, after I graduated, I was living in the frat house. I'm a Kappa. I was waiting to find a job, but I didn't want to go back to Detroit. I didn't want to go home. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather stay at school. Saw this Nike commercial. Got the bright idea. Like, I just graduated from film school. Let me write commercials, you know what I'm saying? And do commercials, whatever, film commercials, whatever they need me to do. Called Nike. They was like, nigga, who the fuck are you? I'm like, you right. You know, called around. Ended up getting an interview with an ad agency in Michigan. When I got there, it wasn't what I expected.
Yeah.
It's, you know, a lot of grunt work and you know, we a lot of pitching, and I'm like, man, what the fuck is this, bro? This is ad agency. I don't want to do this shit. Fast forward, now I pitch shows for a living. And the 2.5 years that I spent doing that in advertising was nothing more than an internship for my destiny.
Yeah.
It was an intern. I was interning for my own destiny.
Yeah.
Right. And we have to understand that it's like, bro, you know, your bike had training wheels, then it didn't. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like you didn't have a car, then you did. You lived in your parents' house, then you didn't. It's like, you know, this too shall pass. And people have to understand how your story has pieces in it that are your story. Yeah. This is your story. And so stop getting pissed off at your story.
Yeah.
You are executive producing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is your story. You mad? It's like, bro, it's glory in the struggle.
Yeah.
It's 100%. Glory in it because it's your struggle. There's nobody else struggle but yours.
Right.
It's your shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so that's that, man. I feel like, you know, that was my biggest thing that I realized about my life is that, man, everything up to this point has meant something, and it has all helped me to be what I'm trying to be.
Yeah, you know, and that goes in kind of with your Reggie Bo story. Like when you got it, like, and you was trying to pitch it, like at first, like you said, you I forgot who you said, but they was like they told you like, nah, that was kind of stupid. But then he was like, let me just
talk to them today.
Yeah, you was like, let me just show you how it is.
Friends.
You was like, let me just show you. And then when they seen it, and you know, that's when it was. And even with your with you having the idea to, you know, do commercials for dispensaries, you were technically pitching, not really pitching, but you was like, look here, I'm gonna just knock it out and show y'all what it could be. You know what I'm saying? Now you built that, you know, that relationship with those dispensaries, those businesses, was getting free weed off of it. But it was like you were able to put something that's your creative spin to it and then sell it by putting out a product, not just saying like, okay, this is it, and then taking that no as the final no.
Quick piece of advice for people out there listening. Like, when you get excited about something, make sure you understand why you're excited about it, right? Yeah. And then make sure you understand why it makes you excited, because that way you can manage the way that you talk to other people about what you're excited about. Because then sometimes you might be excited about something that's hella regular. And when you break it down, you be like, oh, shit, maybe I'm just ghetto and I ain't never seen no shit before. And that's fine. Other times, it could really be something huge. So I think I was excited about it, and I had to say, man, why am I excited about this?
Right.
This makes me laugh because of what? Because if it's something else about it, then maybe it's something else I need to focus on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, maybe this is just a piece to it, but nah, like, you know, you got it. That's what trusting your heart is doing the research within yourself.
Yeah.
Like, why do I like this? What do I like about it? Have I ever seen anything like it? Am I subconsciously jocking somebody else?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. So
no, that's a huge thing, because I remember, like, you know, just coming up with, you know, jumping into the whole podcast, and like you said, this is like, stop fighting your story. So like I said, you know, I grew up, you know, with the rap dreams, like, you know what I'm saying? I still do music, but it was like, there was one point in my life where I'm like, look, if I'm not in front of this mic doing this, then that's it. You know, like that's what I wanted to do, right? But then I started doing the podcast, and then, you know, it was like, oh, but I can really speak passionate about this geek shit and hip hop shit. And it was like, oh, this is really doing dope. Then I started doing these 1-on-1s, and then I started getting some traction to it. And then, like, I remember I was talking to my homegirl, and she was like, yeah, man, you're doing really well with these. And I'm like, yo, this is still crazy to me. And she was like, it wasn't crazy to me because you've always been this type of person. This is just something that you've been wanting to do that you probably didn't know that you wanted to do. And I do get genuine joy out of speaking with people like you, because it's like, I can tell that you are a master of your craft. You are somebody that is pushing for something that you believe in 100%. And I get joy out of talking with people who are passionate about shit, because I know that sometimes that's a lonely journey. Sometimes you're the only one passionate about that shit, and then you don't have anybody else that you can speak to. And then when you do speak to somebody, they're only surface levels. They can't relate, and they don't understand the hours that you got to put in, They don't understand that the sacrifices you got to take. Some people may look at like, you know, the podcast shit or the stuff that you do like, well, shit, I mean, all you get to do is play video games all day. How hard does that be? But like, no, you really got to have a schedule. You really got to have a setup. Like you invested in your gaming chair and the green screen that you use and the setup. It's like there's so much work that goes into it that motherfuckers don't see. And so it's like I love talking with people that's on that grind like that and doing shit like that.
Well, I think that we've all been taught that the only thing worth putting work into is something that's for somebody else, something that has a reputation, something that's already popping, something that's already, a paycheck is worth more than a legacy. In our society, and we know that that's not right. So we have to lead through example to get that to change in people's mind. Nothing else is gonna change it. Nobody gonna be like, "Oh, you right, man. I ain't never look at it like that." And they don't work like that.
Yeah,
they're gonna be like, "Oh, they're gonna get it when they see it." It's like, bro, we hating on ourselves. I had to check myself a couple of years ago, hating on LeVar Ball. I'm like, man, what upsets me about that? It's like, man, I wish my dad would have did that. You know what? I gotta fucking chill out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, bro, it's we have to learn to put it like this. With all this new information that's coming out, the one thing that I would implore people to do is to just be more open to taking a second look at information that you receive.
Yeah.
Because we're getting so many new advances and so many new information about stuff that we thought we knew. It's like, when are you going to be like, okay, maybe I don't know everything, and let me just take everything with a grain of salt for what I thought I knew.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
No, definitely real shit. So I wanted to kind of get into some of the gaming that you said, because like I said, I didn't know that you were this deep into gaming until the pandemic hit. So now from the most part, I've seen you do Call of Duty, Madden, and 2K, and then I saw a little bit of Fortnite. Is there any other games in your spectrum that you were playing, or are those the main four?
Last of Us 2.
Did you beat that yet?
Nah, man, that shit, man.
I just beat it.
You just beat it?
Yeah, there's a wild ass
story was dope.
There's a wild ass part in it that I was like, I did not expect. I don't know if you care about spoilers in the game.
Nah, don't spoil it. I know it's a lot of.
I won't then. But there's a part that you're gonna be like, what in the fuck?
Yeah.
You probably gonna do a video on it.
Yeah, a lot of freak lesbian shit in there. I know that. And them fucking clickers is thick as hell. That's a new term. It's thicker than the clicker. But nah, Spider-Man, FIFA, God of War.
Did you see the new Arkham joint? The Arkham Knights, I think it is, where the new the trailer that they just put out from DC Fandom and shit, and then that Suicide Squad versus Kills the Justice League looked dope as shit.
Yeah, and I think everything gonna be next gen. Anything this gen, bro, they wasting their time. I don't have time for any. Like I got Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, that's what I'm rocking out with right now.
Yeah, and I like it. It's cool. It's not as hard as some of the other shit.
Nah,
Sekirum or something. You know what I'm saying?
So it sounds like you have a wide spectrum of games that you play. Like it's not just like
You know what? I was an only child, man. So I'm really into this whole thing where it's like I just like to play by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think right now with Twitch, Call of Duty especially, everybody want to jump in, and that's cool. But I really like getting lost in games and just being, hours in a story mode or hours in some kind of, unlocking challenges or, doing spotlight challenges on 2K, like stuff like that. I just like grinding out games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What game have you spent the most game hours in, just in general? Like,
man, bro, the last thing I super invested myself in was probably Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time on that, man. But that was like 2 years ago I finished that. Right after that I finished like Mario Odyssey. But then I got into like I'm like an Uncharted type of nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like I like a good Uncharted.
That's the one franchise that I didn't get into yet. And not because I hate on it. It's just that by the time that I started paying attention to it, I was like, damn, I gotta go back because I feel like I'm gonna miss some shit. So
no, each one is good. I got in it like Uncharted 2. I never even played Uncharted 1 at all, but I was amazed. One thing about Uncharted that I think that it plays like a next gen game because you like walk out of a cutscene into action.
Oh
And so
yeah,
it's
so that's
never
yeah.
it's never like, you know, like it never like changes tone.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like it's a beautiful ass game. You know what I'm saying? And you can go from cutscene to just you be watching like, oh shit, time for me to move. You be like, damn, because it's like that.
You know,
So that's dope, man.
what's funny is like, so I same thing with Last of Us. So I just played Last of Us this year, right before I copped Last of Us 2, so I can play Last of Us 2, right? And so I beat them both. But one of the things that I was talking about was like video game knowledge, logic has gotten me fucked up with Last of Us, because so I'm heavy on Grand Theft Auto, where you can have practically unlimited ammo, where in Last of Us it's more realistic. So like there was plenty of moments that I'm like, fam, I got 2 bullets. It's mad clickers. There's bloaters over there. I'm like, I don't know how the hell. Like,
you gotta make you a Molotov. You gotta do some other shit. Throw you a bottle over there. Run this way.
Yeah.
Man,
No, you definitely gotta run. It's running.
That game be scaring the shit out of me, bro. Like, oh my god, running. It just have my nerves back. It's same feeling when it be Fortnite and it be 2 people left, and you be like, man. Yeah, of course you gotta fight some nigga who could build like crazy.
Yeah.
And you just like, oh man. People be holding Fortnite, bro. I don't forget where I came from, man. Fortnite was my favorite Royale game before, Call of Duty. So I still log on, put a couple minutes in just for nostalgia. You know what I'm saying?
Do you beat every game that you play?
Eventually, yeah. Once I beat it, man, it's hard for me to go back to it.
Yeah, same.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so like I beat Grand Theft Auto on PS3 right before I got PS4 way back in the day.
Yeah.
Then I got it, and it's kind of like the same thing. Yep. So it just makes me frustrated to get back into it and be a scrub. And when it's like, man, all the missions I did, all that money I made, all the cars I got, all them bitches I fucked.
Right.
So it's just over, and I got to do it on a whole new game. So I don't be liking that, bro. I grind a lot of 2K My Team out.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like you said last year. Well, that's what I did want to ask. So last year you did an interview and you said that you spent like $2K on the cards. Now with the pandemic and you being home more, how much you done spent on this year, bro?
Bruh, it'd be like, man, even back then it was like $100 every time I log in. That's how it go. $100, bam, buy me a couple packs of cards. Right. That shit was like going to the casino for me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and what's funny, that hood niggas be into the card, the card game of 2K. My cousin Joe Deasy, like hood nigga to the core. And I remember like when, because you can start it with the mobile app when it's the demo out. So he playing. I'm like, what are you playing? I'm like, we in the hood, and he's sitting there on his phone doing the shit. And I'm just like, what's that? He's like, oh, it's the 2K card joint. I'm like, I ain't never played that mode. He's like, man, you gotta fuck with it, bro. And I'm like,
this shit's so fun, man. But it's like a rich nigga game, bro. That's like a stunt, nigga. Like niggas be having their money phone. I need to show you all my Galaxy Opal cards and be like in a rap video, like, you know how much this costs? I gotta go LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean that shit real, bro. Like I really, so I'm thinking like next year, man, I gotta focus on. I do better when I got a My player and I could grind him out as opposed to doing a My team, bro. I just can't do it, man. It's too much pressure, bro. Every week is another card, bro. Each card it go take you about a good $200 to $300 to really, really be able to get it like that, because the packs is just.
There's this mobile game I play called Dokkan Battle. It's based off of Dragon Ball Z. Same type of scenario. They putting out different forms of the anime characters, and like you can do it with the free gems that you get to try to, pull, like they call them, the gems in there is called Dragon Stones. So you can use that to try to pull the card and shit. But like if you really want to get it, you got to throw some money in it. That's probably the only game that I invested most of the money in. But but everybody got
what hurt is like when you hit a wall where you be like, man, I got every card I ever wanted. Nigga, this is it. And then they be like, pre-order the new 2K21. You be like,
you're like, damn it.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I can't do this shit no more, man. I can't live my life like this, bro. I can't, man. I can't live my life like this, bro. My wife be like, what happened to the money? I be like, I don't know. But nah,
It's
bro, I
gotta
can't.
keep it out there and shit like that.
I just can't do this no more, man. But anyway, bro, I got like 5 minutes, and
Yeah.
I gotta go start up Battle Club.
No doubt. So here's what I want to do. So here's what we do. We do top fives. I want to get some top fives from you, and then we're gonna do the recommendations so I can get you out of here in respect to time.
All right, better. Let's get it.
First top five video games ever for you.
Shenmue, NFL 2K Dreamcast, Super Mario World 64, Fortnite, and man, probably Breath of the Wild.
All right, that's dope.
I have to give it to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, do that. All right, one more top five because you have a vast knowledge of music. I want to get your top 5 albums for you.
Top 5 albums, in no particular order, but this is how I bang them. Thug Mentality, Crazy Bone, 1999. I Am by Nas. I'm sorry. It Was Written by Nas. Probably man, it's so hard, man.
I know.
Talking about all time. Shit, what I say? Thug Mentality, It Was Written, Stillmatic.
Okay.
I really like Astro World, bro. I thought that was an excellent piece of work, man.
Astro
really
World.
like Stevie Wonder on that joint.
Yeah.
Astro World was nice, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. People gonna hate me for my top 5 because my top 5 ain't no cap. My top 5 for me.
Yeah, that's why. But like I said, I know you have that spectrum of music. That's why I wanted to get yours because you listen to it from everything to Gucci to 3 6.
Yeah. I think for my last 2, I probably say 808s and Heartbreak and Carter 3.
All right, I fuck with those. All right, so last thing, recommendation. Something that you would think that our viewers, listeners, that you think they should either check out, listen to, watch, read, whatever. It could be anything.
Man, let me think of some shit that I feel like our viewers are pretty smart and they kind of on to the shit that we on to.
Yeah.
I would have them to read this book called Read the Laws of Attraction. And just start there. Just start right there.
Yeah. And
then that's going to spin you into a bunch of different directions. And whatever direction it's going to take you in is the correct direction for you.
That's dope. All right, so tell my people where they can find you at, where, you know what I'm saying, for those who don't already follow you.
When are they going to see this?
This is actually going to be dropping not this Saturday coming up, but the Saturday after that. You're the episode after.
All right. That's good to know. They can find me everywhere, man. Like Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, all Comedian CP. I have things on different platforms on different levels.
Yep.
You know, I talk a lot of silly shit and laugh at dumb shit on Twitter. You know, I post a lot of memes and, you know, stuff that's more to the minute with how I'm feeling on Instagram.
Right.
My Patreon has a lot of cool stuff that you won't see anywhere else. My stand-up, stuff like that. And then Twitch, you know, I'm getting my game on.
All right, man. Well, again, appreciate your time, bro. Appreciate you taking this moment. As always, this has been the only podcast that blend hip-hop culture and geek culture together. I'm your boy Deuces. That's been Comedian CP. Man, appreciate you, bro.
Peace out, everybody.
You like that video? Man, thank you for watching. We truly appreciate it. We got so many more videos on our page, so make sure you check them out over here. Hit that subscribe button and tap that notification bell so that way you can always be notified anytime we release a new video. You already know how Geekset get down. We got so much coming for y'all, man. Check it out. Stay in tune.
There was a time where hip-hop culture and geek culture were at odds.